Hello, welcome to the next explanatory session of the reading passage from the Cambridge book. So, in this passage, we will be discussing about the answers of Cambridge Book 8, the Cambridge Book 8 Test 1, and the passage 2 and 3. So, we have already done the passage 1 in our earlier video. So, here we will be discussing this reading passage 2. Now the reading passage 2 starts with the question of headings. Let me just put it down. Yes, so here it is starting, and it is starting with a list of headings. So as I have said in my earlier videos, our process starts with first reading the question carefully, first listening to the titles, subtitles, pictures if it is giving, it's reading to this title, subtitles, picture if it is given over there. So all this thing, afterwards let us read the question, all the questions carefully, and once the question is done, we should skim the passage. So in all it should not take more than 5 minutes, the entire process. And now we should start solving the question. So here I am starting solving the question directly because I have skimmed it already. So let us start. So in the list of heading, the approach should be like this, that you should carefully read all the options that is given. That means over here it is the 10 option is given. One should read every option carefully, and we should try to make some picture or imaginary kinds of things, so that we should carefully correlate when we will do the passages. So there is one another thing. When we do the list of headings, instead of the skimming, we may directly start skimming, directly start solving. Like if this is the paragraph A, so we could just read the paragraph A and we'll try to correlate between the headings, and in this way also we could save certain time of skimming and directly solving the question. Because anyway, for each paragraph we have to read each paragraph to get the headings of those. Paragraph A. So paragraph A is: an accident that occurred in the skies over the Grand Canyon in 1956 resulted in the establishment of Federal Aviation Administration to regulate overseas. So look, the accident that occurred in the skies over Grand Canyon in 1956 resulted in the establishment of the Federal. So that means an accident occurred, and that resulted in the development of the establishment of the FAA. So here, aviation disaster prompts action. So this will be the answer. Aviation disaster prompts action for 1. So the answer for this 14 paragraph A will be 2. Come directly to the paragraph C. And the paragraph C is saying that generally in the list of heading, your answer will, you may get your clue that related keywords either in the first line or the last line. It is a usual case, but it doesn't mean that we should skip reading the entire paragraph. We should read, but the first line or the last line generally carries the actual meaning of the entire paragraph. That is called as the main theme of the paragraph. In the 1940s, ATC centers could and did take advantage of the newly developed radar and improved video communication brought by the Second World War, but the system remained rudimentary. Of America's aerospace took place, and this was fortuitous, for the advent of the jet engine suddenly resulted in a large number of look. Here it was only after the creation of FAA that full-scale regulation of America's airspace took place, and this was fortuitous, for the advent of the jet engine suddenly resulted in large number of very fast planes. Means there are two simultaneous development happened, that FAA was created, and in the same time jet engine has also been scrambled into the sky. So this is advent of the jet engine and FAA. So we could say that this coincidental development means there are the two coincidental development. FAA has been developed one side, on the other side jet engines came into place. So we will mark this. So the answer of the 15 will be, answer of the 15 is 3. Now coming to the D, many people think that ATC consists of a row of controllers sitting in the front of their radar screen at the nation's airport, telling arriving and departing traffic what to do. This is very incomplete part of the picture. That means the people are in this first line we could understand that people have just a very improper knowledge or very basic knowledge about the ATC. The options are disobeying FAA regulation. It is not. We haven't discussed setting altitude zone. Here we have not. There is nothing called in oversimplified view. Yes, oversimplified views is possible, because earlier people were saying feeling that it is just like a sitting in the front of the radar screen and giving instructions to the airplane. So 5 could be a possible option, but let us consider other thing also. Controlling pilot's licenses. There is nothing called pilot licenses. Defining airspace categories. As of now, there is no airspace categories given. Setting rules to weather condition. Yes, weather is given. Let us see. United States would at any time have been different kind of flying for many different in variety of weather condition and the same kind of structure. Yes, weather condition is though it is mentioned over here, but then setting rule according to weather condition, I could not find anything. Taking off safely, not discussed. First steps toward ATC. So we 8th and 5th is what we could we are. It is a bit closer, but understand this rules according to weather condition is not discussed. However, oversimplified view is given over there that earlier they were having a different thought of ATC. So this we will finalize this answer for paragraph D. So the paragraph D will have the answer 5. That's question number. These challenges following elements were put into the effect. First, ATC extends over virtually the entire United States. The main theme, the main idea, every paragraph does have its main theme, or we could say main idea. Here the main idea, so they are talking about altitude, and here altitude is given. Setting altitudes in. Let us read other options also. Disobeying FAA regulation, not matching. This could match. Controlling pilot license, not given. Defining airspace categories. So here if you see that airspace categories is, yes, it is given like in general from 365. I was skimming, I could see that here the G paragraph has a very detail about this one, like which categories which class could fly. So I think that this option defining airspace categories will fit into this G, because exactly definition like class F, class A, class D, class C is given in this G, and for this one if not 7, so setting altitude zone, because here the altitude is given over here. Discuss 365 meter ground and higher. The entire country's blanket means anything above 365 meter will be under the purview of ATC. So the answer of E will be setting altitude zone, this one. To the F, paragraph F, the FAA then recognized 2 types of operating environments. In good meteorological conditions, flying would be permitted under visual kind, which suggests a strong and poor visibility necessitated. So okay, there is a word which is called meteorological conditions. Okay, and here we have the word setting rules to weather condition. So let us see. Look, in good meteorological condition, these are the rule. Poor visibility, this is the rule. On a clear day, again this is the rule. So definitely this particular paragraph is pertaining to the aviation condition related to the meteorological means weather. So this is the keywords: weather condition, meteorological condition. So the answer for the paragraph F, that means for the question number 18, is 8. As we have discussed earlier, for the paragraph G, there are different kind of a class, like different altitudes are defined for the different class of the flight, like class F, class A, class E and A. So here defining airspace categories like this, and this airspace will be called as class A, so and so is called, will be called as a D, C, B. So it is quite very evident that this particular G is actually defining the airspace categories. So the answer for the question number 19, that is paragraph G, airspace categories. I think this is clear. This list of heading, in some cases in the initial practices, you may face a bit of challenge, but in the by practicing, you know, it becomes one of the most easiest thing. You need to read the paragraph first, the entire paragraph, and try to read each and everything, and first it will be eliminated, like what are the least possible solutions. So generally we get stuck between between 2 options, and then we have to finalize by giving attention to the keywords and other things. Now let us move forward to the next question, and the next question is true false not given. Rule is that this true false not given always and always come in the passage order. FAA was created as a result of the introduction of the jet engine. So whenever we start solving true false not given, let us there are two things. That first we have to go, like if this is the FAA, we need to go to the topic where the FAA are discussed. Now this, if I could see here, it is one FAA, then FAA is discussed over here also, and afterwards I could not find anything pertaining to FAA. So my answer will be either over here, or in this. And as I have said that it comes in a passage order, so let me read the first passage. An accident that occurred in the skies over the Grand Canyon in 1940 resulted in the establishment of the federal. Okay, fine. And the question is, the FAA was created as a result of the introduction of jet engines. So yes, it is related to this, that FAA was here. The question is, the FAA was created as a result of the introduction of a jet engine. Here it is saying that it is resulted as an accident. So it is a contradictory. So contradictory, that means the information given over here suggests that FAA is the result of an accident, and here they are saying that FAA is the result of the introduction of jet engine. So it is a contradiction. So the contradiction, if it is there, so it will be 20 will be is false. Now second question is, air traffic control is started after Grand Canyon crash in 1956. Now the first answer came here, so the next answer will come up following to this. Now the Grand Canyon crash is discussed in this passage B and passage A. So passage A doesn't, it is saying air traffic control also. So air traffic control and Grand Canyon, both of these things is in passage B. So definitely our answer we will get in passage B. And what is the question? Air traffic control is started after Grand Canyon crash in 19. So rudimentary air traffic existed well before the Grand Canyon disaster. Look, the question is, air traffic control is started after Grand Canyon. So that means ATC is started after, but it is saying that it is existed well before the Grand Canyon disaster. So again, the question is contradicting to each contradicting to the statement, and hence the answer for the question number 21 will be false. Let's come to the question number 22. Beacons and flashing lights are still used by ATC today. Now if let us try to find out this word, and it will be some, look, using lights and flags, vicinity, and while beacons. Okay, so every keywords is in this passage. So let us read this passage carefully. The first reason to have, look here, they have mentioned that in earlier days they were using lights, flags, and beacons. But the question is, beacons and flashing lights are still used by ATC today. So what they are using, look, however, purely visual system was useless in bad weather. In the bad weather, such kind of a visual system was bad. So, and by 1930s, radio communication was coming into use for ATC. The first region to have something approximately today's ATC was New York. So what they are exactly doing as of now, they had they discarded this, though it was useless in bad weather, means in good weather it could still be used. Okay, number one is this, and number two is this, they haven't said that this system, this practice of using beacons, lights, and flags is discarded in nowadays. So we don't have any information pertaining to the current system. Earlier it was using, and one could get confused between that it was useless in the bad weather, but understand it was only useless in the bad weather. And also they haven't said that this thing have been now in no more in the use. So we do not find any relevant information regarding to the usage of such kind of an equipment as of now, and thus nothing is contradicting the statement also. So thus let us so that answer for the 22 will be not given. Some improvements were made in radio communication during World War I. So World War I is, oh sorry, it's World War II, it's my bad. Okay, Second World War. So in 1940, ADC centers could take advantage of the newly developed radar and improved radio communication brought up by the Second World War. And some improvements were, so improved radio communication, some improvements were made in Second World War. So yes, the answer is exactly, means the statement and the questions is making the same meaning. So we will answer 23rd as true statement. As F air space is air space which is below 365 meter and not near airport. So look, here we had discussed this 365 meter above. What is the question? To meet this challenge, the following elements were put into practice. First, ADC extends over virtually entire United States in general from 365 above in the ground and has the entire. That means above 365 meter, everything come under the purview of ADC. Now the class of airspace is discussed in paragraph G. So let us see. Uncontrolled airspace is designated class F, while controlled airspace below 5490 meter above sea level and not in the vicinity of the airport is class E. That means whatever is not controlled is class F, and not controlled is 365 meter and below. Okay, and then too it should not be near to the airport. So everything is matching as a true statement. If all aircraft in class E airspace must use IFR. So look here, the class E, the reason for the division of class E and class A. Look, no, this is the difference. Now class E and A, the difference is like this. A use all operations IFR. That means it also means that E doesn't use all operations IFR. And the question is, all aircraft in class E airspace must use IFR. That means it is contradicting. A must use all operation IFR. That means that E will not use, because here the word difference is written. Difference, that means E is not using all operations IFR. So the answer will be for 25th. It is contradicting exactly. So answer is false. The last one, or a pilot entering class C airspace is flying over an average sized city. Now a pilot. Now the three other type of cities, these correspond roughly to small municipal. Okay, so these are the three classes. Class D, C and B govern vicinity of airport. This is this respectively. Okay, there are things. D is for small municipal, C is for medium sized metropolitan, and D is for major metropolitan airports respectively. And the question is, the pilot entering class C airspace is flying over an average sized city. This is because it is especially three other types. Okay, so this C and C is because it is respectively, word is over here. So D is for small municipal and C is for medium sized metropolitan. So average sized city and A. Okay, so this is a true statement, because this is meaning the exact meaning related to the question and the statement. So this is how we should take an approach towards this reading passages, and it was having the two most challenging part of the IELTS, that is true, false, not given, and list of heading. So this is the end of this particular video session, where we have discussed about the Cambridge Book 8 Test 1 Reading Passage 2. Hope you have liked my explanation. If you have really liked, please like the video, and if you feel that such kind of a video will be useful to you in the future also, please subscribe it and share it to your other friends who are preparing for the IELTS, and you could ask any kind of a question in the WhatsApp. Till then, take care and see you in the next video. Jai Hind.